A worker at an Avon, Connecticut daycare center sexually assaulted a 4-year-old boy under a blanket while the child was supposed to be napping, according to an arrest warrant that was released this past Thursday. And there are now allegedly multiple children that were assaulted. Welcome to the light. Let's get into the details. Shown above is Jan Berrios-Otero. He is aged 29 of Avon, Connecticut, and he is facing charges of 4th-degree sexual assault and risk of injury to a minor. An administrator at the Bright Path Avon Early Learning Center and Child Care Center told officers on March 31st that she believed Jan may have had inappropriate contact with a child who was placed on administrative leave at the time. The father of a 4-year-old boy said that his son told him that Mr. John, later identified as Jan, had touched the boy's genitals during nap time. The boy's parents took him to a doctor because of injuries to his genitals, and police reviewed photos of the injuries. A surveillance camera in the daycare captured Jan laying next to the boy at about 2 p.m. on March 30th. The footage showed a blanket covering the boy and the lower half of Jan's body. The video showed Jan placing his right hand under the blanket in the area of the boy's genitals while the blanket moved up and down, according to the warrant. The footage also showed Jan holding the blanket up with his left hand in a tenting fashion, putting his cell phone underneath and holding it there. According to the warrant, Jan is also seen roughhousing with the boy and kissing his face, hands, and upper body. The warrant also says that the total time of his interaction with the boy was about 47 minutes. The boy's mother told police that she bathed him on March 29th and did not see any injuries or marks to his genitals. The clothing that the boy was wearing on March 30th had already been laundered, but they did seize the blanket that Jan had used to cover himself and the boy. Now, Jan is currently being held on a $1 million bond for an appearance on April 28th in State Superior Court in Litchfield, Connecticut. Connecticut's Office of Early Childhood and Department of Children and Families are also investigating the daycare, state officials stated. At least one family is also currently suing the daycare, which is part of a national chain, and police have confirmed that other families have come forward with similar allegations that they're investigating, which is about to lead to the next part. As a result of this ongoing investigation, Jan Berrios-Otero is now facing, are you ready for this, an additional charge of 4th-degree sexual assault and risk of injury to a minor in connection with 6 alleged incidents involving 5 children, according to the Avon Police Department. Police have said that Jan will also be charged with aggravated sexual assault of a minor due to the number of victims under the age of 13 years old. This man is sick. The police have stated, quote, "It is anticipated that Berrios-Otero will be arraigned on the new charges in Torrington in the near future." Now, attorneys Sarah Klein and Eric Schoenberg, who represent families at the daycare, have said that a search warrant has been requested seeking additional video evidence at the daycare. They have gone on to say, quote, "This is a significant and necessary step forward. The issuance of this warrant reflects the continued methodical work of investigators, but it also underscores a broader failure by Bright Path to protect the children in its care. Our clients have shown tremendous strength throughout this process, and we remain committed to ensuring that their voices are heard and that meaningful accountability is achieved." Now, according to these attorneys, additional warrants are expected to be issued, which would represent these new charges. Each development, they said in this case, highlights not only the seriousness of the allegations, but also the systematic lapses that allowed this harm to occur. Institutions like Bright Path have a fundamental duty to safeguard children and to act swiftly when concerns arise. Those obligations were not met. We will continue to pursue all avenues to hold every responsible party accountable. We continue to ask parents who had children attend Bright Path Avon in the last 6 years to come forward and thank those that already have. While your information may not be germane to your child, it may be germane to your neighbor's child. Now, I do have a number that I have kept above to contact detectives at 860-409-4230 that you can contact them there. Now, Klein, who is one of the attorneys on this case, is actually a survivor of abuse from Dr. Larry Nasser, who is that former National Medical Coordinator for the USA Gymnastics, who I'm sure many of you will remember. So the fact that she's handling a case like this, she's gone on to represent families who are suffering from these abuse cases. Now, earlier this week, Bright Path announced that the Avon Daycare will be closing its doors for good in May. They said that Bright Path has made the difficult decision to close our Avon location over the next month, with our final day being May 22nd, 2026. After careful consideration, we have determined that it is in our best interest of our children and families to take this course of action. As we are guided by their well-being, we believe that we deserve an experience without the disruption that Bright Path Avon has faced in recent weeks. I mean, honestly, as a parent, after all of this has come out, I don't understand how any parent probably would have wanted to even keep their child enrolled there. Now, the family of the young boy who initially filed the alleged abuse have filed a lawsuit against the daycare as well. The civil action was taken on April 8th in the Hartford Superior Court by attorney Tim O'Keefe, who's representing the family of the child. In that lawsuit, they specifically note that Jan Berrios-Otero, above, is accused of engaging in alleged serious sexual abuse against the child, accusing him of fondling, touching, and molesting the boy. The child, who had attended daycare at Bright Path for months, suffered trauma and injuries that could be life-altering, the complaint said. The lawsuit also accuses Bright Path of failing to properly supervise the children at the daycare and its employees. It also alleges that the daycare also failed to investigate after allegedly being made aware of suspicious or alarming activities involving Jan. The 4-count lawsuit alleges negligence and a breach of special duty to children. It is seeking more than $15,000 in damages. Now, while I was researching this case, I also found some more information. While there was another parent there that stated that she's repeatedly complained about the staff member, Jan, who is being charged with the sexual assault. This is what she had to say. She wanted to remain anonymous. Naturally, she said that daycare staff was not being attentive towards children. Also, they were being very rude, especially this particular Jan. He was very rude with children. On top of that, she would do surprise visits at the daycare, and she was disturbed by several things she saw. She said Jan was very dismissive of the students as a whole, but would pay special attention to the girls in the class. Quote, he was attentive and he was going into their restrooms and changing their diapers and all. That I found very disturbing because being a 4-year-old child or 2-year-old child, he should not be, being a male, he should not be allowed, she said. She also said that she complained to multiple staff members about his behavior and even reached out to Bright Path's executive team to complain, but she didn't hear anything concrete until he was arrested this week. She went on to say that she was always concerned knowing his nature and the way how he treats children. She said that due to family circumstances, she's had to keep her child at the center, but would absolutely have moved him to another center if she could. The important thing here is that if anyone believes that they have information relevant to this matter, they should contact the Avon Police Department division. The other thing is if you believe that you may possibly have been a victim, or you may also know someone that may have a child that may have attended this daycare center. Again, this is the Bright Path Center in Avon, Connecticut, and it seems like he may have been employed here for quite a few years. The number for the Avon Police Detective Division has been up on the screen this whole time. It is 860-409-4230. please contact them. Again, they are still investigating this. And even through the investigation, this started with one child, and there seem to be another 5 more that are about to be involved in this, which leads to the conclusion that there could be many more involved from previous years that need to be identified. It could even be that they might not have that security footage anymore. It looks like Jan will not be back in court till later in May, so please make sure that you are following me for more updates on this case and many others that I cover. I will let you know what happens when he is back in court. Thank you so much for tuning into the light. Remember, what happens in the dark will always come to the light. Please remember to be safe, be kind to one another, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.